My name is Hatasawa. I'm from UA, Japan. In my previous presentation, I talked about onsen, one of the typical Japanese culture for leisure. Today, as you can see on the screen, I will talk about another symbol and part of Japanese culture. I'm talking about Japanese sake. Sometimes called rice wine in Japan, it's called nihonshu. The reason why I choose this topic is because I love Japanese sake and I would like people to know the goodness of Japanese sake, like onsen. Although there are many kinds of alcoholic beverages all over the world, I'm happy if I can tell you about the features and other information about Japanese sake. By the end of this talk, you will be more familiar with Japan. I divided my presentation into three parts. First, I'm going to explain what Japanese sake is. Second, I talk about production method and kinds of Japanese sake. And third, and then I talk about how to enjoy Japanese sake. And there will be time for questions after my presentation. And first, I'm going to explain what Japanese sake is. Japanese sake is an alcoholic drink made of fermented rice, koji, often translated as a rice malt or yeast made from rice and water. In Japanese, the word sake is often used to denote alcoholic sake because it has long-term history and cultural background in Japan. Incidentally, Japanese sake is nihonshu in Japanese. Nihon means Japan, and shu means sake. As its name suggests, Japanese sake is traditional alcoholic beverage in Japan. Japanese sake has a long history. It has tracked way back 2,500 years. This was the period when rice cultivation started to dominate Japanese agriculture. And Japanese sake can be found in some ancient writings. These records state that the Japanese have a fondness for sake and in the habit of gathering to drink sake when mourning the dead. Certain writings which detail ancient sake making method describes that Japanese sake was produced mainly at the imperial court and to be drunk by the emperor for ceremonial use. Afterward, production technique has been improved. Now there are many kinds of Japanese sake across Japan. Let's move on to the next part. This time, I will talk about production method and kinds of Japanese sake. It can be protracted complex process, but explained simply. Japanese sake is made when rice is ground, washed, and steamed. The sum of the steamed rice will be used to make koji, and the yeast derived from rice. After that, the koji and the remaining steamed rice and water are mixed and then allowed to ferment. More rice, koji, and water is added to the mixture thereafter, at which point the drink is filtered and bottled. This is koji. The fermentation process for sake is unique and different from other beverages like wine and beer. Japanese sake makers or brewers are known as toji. Toji. He is Toji. Toji. And they are skillful craftsmen and similar to Chef K. They are responsible for producing process and its taste. Toji, he works at brewery Sakagura. Sakagura is this. This is Sakagura. Sakagura is more than 1,600 in Japan. Next, let me show you the kind of sake. Generally, Japanese sake is classified by additional alcohol and rice polishing. Vertical is Junmai and Honjozo, classified by alcohol added or not. Horizontal is Ginjo and Daiginjo, classified by ratio of rice polishing. Honjozo and Junmai. Daiginjo and And Junmai is pure sake. By pure, I mean no additional starches, sugar added, and no additional alcohol is added either. Only rice and water. Made of only rice and water. And Honjuzo is pretty similar to Junmai, except that a small amount of alcohol, additional alcohol is added to lighten up and smooth out the flavor of sake. This is also make it a bit more flavorful. Junmai and Honjuzo.
Junmai pure sake.
And Ginjo sake is much more light and complex than the previous two because the rice has been polished faster. For Ginjo sake, 40% of kernel gets milked away. And Daiginjo sake is more fragrant than Ginjo. The rice gets milked even faster, somewhere between 15 to 65% of kernel being milled away. For additional information, sake has health benefits as well. In Japan, since all times, sake has been said to be the best of all medicines. So Japanese sake helps maintain healthy lifestyle and maintain blood pressure, and appropriate amount can have positive effect on improving cholesterol levels and helps improve skin and good memory. Next, I'll be talking about how to enjoy Japanese sake. There are three settings when we can enjoy sake. First is in ceremonial. Examples are wedding ceremony and funeral, festivals, and rituals. To give thanks to the nature, and this also represented sense of abundance and wealth. This has been practiced since ancient time, and Japan has four distinct seasons and several customs involving sake associated with these. In spring, people enjoy sake while viewing the cherry blossoms. It's hanami. This is cherry blossom. People drink Japanese sake. And in autumn, we drink sake with admiring the moon. It's skimmy. And winter is time for appreciating snow scenes while enjoying sake. back is yuki, snow. Snow, that's yukimi in onsen. And the second one is in casual situation. Japanese people drink both at home and when out at restaurant and bars. Sake, Japanese sake is associated with casual style bar. We call it izakaya. Office workers drink with their colleagues and talk about work business and complaints. Everyone enjoys drinking with acquaintance. They company. And but it is necessary to be careful drinking too much. He is sleeping in train. And when Japanese drinking, there is a manner. By tradition, sake is poured for one another. The role of sake is to set an atmosphere for good conversation and congeniality. If you are drinking with someone else, it's good manner to pour serving for your partner. Usually, the younger person pours for older person first. When someone pouring sake for you, it's polite to hold your sake cup up with one hand and put the other hand under the cup. Have a shake before putting the cup back on the table. Lastly is with cuisine. Japanese sake is most popular partner for Japanese cuisine, but today it is popular complement to other cuisine. Japanese food or washoku is popular now all over the world, together with Japanese sake. And going down to the last part of my presentation is my conclusion. As described above, Japanese sake is national liquor because it has long connection with Japanese traditional culture. And recently, washoku, Japanese food is attracting public attention of the world by registration to UNESCO. I recommend that you try Japanese sake somewhere. If you have a chance to try Japanese sake, Japanese culture will know more closely. I'm happy that you can feel more familiar with Japan. That's all my presentation. Thank you for your attention.